Hey guys, I'm going to pick up my talk in James chapter 1, and I'm going to start in verse 5 and read to verse 8, and then I'll come back and recap verses 2 through 4. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives to all liberally and without reproach, and it will be given to him. But let him ask in faith with no doubting. For he who doubts is like a wave of the sea, driven and tossed by the wind. For let not that man suppose that he will receive anything from the Lord. He is a double-minded man, unstable in all his ways. So, before we get to that, we go back to verses 2 through 4, because all of these verses kind of tie together. So, we were talking about profiting from trials in the last video. So starting in verse 2, my brethren, count it all joy when you fall into various trials. So right there, hardships, problems, struggles, trials. Don't get worked up. Don't let it control you. Enjoy those. Find a way to enjoy those and know that no matter what you go through, you can grow from it. And then we have verse 3, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. So if spiritual trials, test your faith. It could be doubting something you read in the Bible. It could be something you struggle with, a temptation or sin, or maybe whatever it may be. To each their own. The testing of your faith produces that patience. And then, from that patience, verse 4, but let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing. So, having patience to let the trial take its course, go through it, and you lack nothing because you're growing from your trial. So, going into what we just read, 5 through 8, kind of talks about going to God, but touches on doubting. So, real quick, let's take that doubt. What is doubt? Well, doubt is whenever you don't 100% believe that something is going to happen or something like that. Like, you don't 100% believe in whatever it is. So, take running. We talked about that last time. If you're not willing to endure the hardships of running, the pain of running, you're probably not going to go very far. Well, take doubt. If, say you do continue to train, continue to keep going, but mentally you doubt, I'm never going to win any race because I don't have the genetics, or I'm just not meant to win a race. Well, that right there immediately that's what prevents you. Because yeah, not everyone's going to win a championship or go to the Olympics or race and be the best, but why not try to be the best version of yourself? Why not try to get there? Why not believe that you can be just as good as anyone else? Whenever you think those things and you let that doubt creep in, there's two things happening there. You're stopping yourself from getting to that point before you even start. But two, you're not bought in. You're not 100% there. You could be 90, 95% because you're doing everything to be there, but you're not there up here. And we talked about that when we looked at verses in Mark in previous videos. So obviously I have to tie things to running. That's how my brain works. It's what I love. Tie it to whatever you love. It's kind of what I'm doing. So bringing it back to the spiritual aspect of this. So it talked about how patience, let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing. But then it goes on to say immediately after that, if any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives to all. So if you do lack something, if you do need his help, obviously if you're going through a struggle or a hard time, go to God. Ask God for help. If you're struggling with a sin, God, give me the strength to fight this temptation. If you're struggling to have the courage to do something before a race, go to God. But doubt. So there's obviously every runner, every athlete, every person has goals and aspirations. Before a race, I tried to say a prayer. And I tried to give myself enough time to warm up and go there and say a good prayer, not just on the line. Like before the race starts, say a good prayer. Maybe say something that's on my mind. Obviously, maybe say something about the race. And I didn't try to make a show about it, but I would try to kneel down and make it obvious I was praying. Obvious that was my, without making a show of it, the glory is to God. Whatever I did, whether I got last or first. But back to the point, there would be times in those prayers where maybe I say, God, please let this be the day that this happens. And then it's like you say that, and sometimes I wasn't always thinking, yeah, today's going to be that day. I've had days where I thought it was going to be a day, and it was, or sometimes it wasn't. But sometimes I said that prayer, and it's like, this is like a hope. I didn't fully believe in myself. And so what this is kind of saying is that obviously we understand doubt. We have it in our lives. What this is saying right here is in verse 5. No. Verse 6. But let him ask in faith. So before we go on from there, verse 3, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. Faith. Testing of the faith. It's constantly being. Verse 6, but let him ask in faith. Believing, sorry, still learning myself, need to continue to get a grasp on this on myself, but I'm trying. Continuation of verse 6, with no doubting, for he who doubts is like a wave of the sea driven and tossed by the wind. So don't just ask God. Don't just say, God, help me do this, and then go about your way. Don't be not all in. It's not going to work. You have to ask in faith. You have to believe and know that God is there, and God's will happen. And so, like in running, you gotta, whatever you do, not just running, anything, being a Christian, let's talk about that. There's such a thing as a lukewarm Christian. We're all sinners, but you have the world, you have worldly people that don't believe in God or don't act as a Christian and don't want to be a Christian. And you have people that are Christians and are trying to go to heaven and do believe in God and that do believe Jesus is the Son of God. And then some people are lukewarm, which means, okay, maybe they go to church, they accept Jesus, but they're out doing things they know they ought not to do. And that's actually the worst place to be, because you know what you're supposed to be doing. It's not like you didn't know. You did know and you still did wrong. So you have to pick one. If you're going to go to God, why not go all in for yourself, but to God? If you're going to go to God, believe it yourself and believe in Him, and don't go halfway. And something I've been thinking about in these past couple weeks is about the patience. I constantly find myself irritated with how little time I have, or how sometimes maybe my Bible time gets pushed to the back or not at all. And just these little things where it's like I have 24 hours in the day, and sometimes it feels like I have 2. It really irritates me. And then I think about it, well, why am I so worried about having a set, strict schedule every single day? And this is when I read my Bible, this is when I run, this is when I go to work. The world's been around for a couple thousand years, and God's seen all of it and knows the future. It's God's time. It's not my time. that, I could be gone. Like the snap of a finger, the blink of an eye, I could be gone. It could be over. And all this schedule, all this planning, why'd I waste my time on doing that or worrying about it when I could just go to God and I don't know, just quit worrying. So I'm hoping some of this makes sense. Like I said, I don't have it all figured out. I don't have it together. Sometimes I don't even know why I do this, but one thing I do know is even if it doesn't make sense, like I kind of make myself keep doing this and keep making videos and trying to figure something out, because I might not have all the answers, but if I'm trying to do this, it kind of works in my life a couple of ways. Well, obviously I can't come to you and not really read this at all. Also, if I'm talking to you and telling you, whoever's watching, what the Bible says, and I'm not doing that myself, well, that's an example of being a lukewarm Christian. So I know this might not be the most perfect talk. I know it could have made no sense whatsoever. Like after all the editing I do, I don't always go back and rewatch everything. So I hope you got some benefit out of this. The two things I can say, or well, not two, a couple of things I can say is we are to enjoy our trials, grow from them, and live without doubt. So, thank you. Get the next two strides from on the track, like go up on those steps or something.
Meow. Do we stop the camera?
Yeah. All right.
Say cheese.
Just did a 2-mile warm-up with a 100-meter stride every second lap, and that was about a 6:20 average pace. So that's good. You want to be near whatever pace you are for your intervals. That way you're good and warm, ready to go. Not going from a very slow pace to a 5:30 pace for your intervals. So what we have right now, I'm going to do 5 1Ks at a goal of 3:25 or about a 5:30 average pace. So if I was to put all these together, hopefully they would come out to about like a low 17, like a 17:05 5K. So I'm gonna start over here and see you afterwards. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so that was about a 3:19. So fast, but not too fast. But the first lap was a 68, so that's the problem. I went out like I was still training for the 15. But it's still track season, so this needs to be slow and controlled. There's no rush right now. I didn't do that on purpose. I didn't mean to do that. Just what felt natural. So hopefully it doesn't screw the rest of the workout. You're good.
And
No, no, no. Have you been ending it?
no,
Did you end it after that rep?
no.
Okay.
You gotta show the sass of you in here too.
Put a blooper. I'll put bloopers at the end.
You should.
The sun is going down. I'm talking to you.
I know, but say that.
Alright. The sun's going down, so I gotta keep moving. See how it's pointing down? You probably didn't get us in it.
What do you mean it's pointing up?
Now, because I told you about it. Guys, I have abusive girlfriends.
Shut up! That's not true. I'm sweaty.
No, I'm not. You're sweaty. Your shoes are nice.
You like them?
Okay, it'll be bright over there. That's why I put the finish line over there.
Yeah.
I gotta keep moving though. We're about.
You got 4 left?
Yeah.
You got it?
We're at slower, finish faster.
Mm-hmm.
Negative splits.
Always.
Negative splits.
You got it?
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
So that one was a 3:29 split, so slower, but we've set a 10-second range. And I was talking about last week how a consistent set of splits is better than a really fast one that's outweighed by a really slow one. So 10-second range. The first lap was on the money. I think it was a 40 seconds on the 200 and 122 at the 4. But yeah, on the money. So I just slowed down somewhere in there. But good range. First one was fast. Slowed it down with the second one. Now I just need to lock it in. I'm gonna keep moving so the sun don't set on us too bad. But yeah. So from here on out, if I could stay within the 319 to 329, it'd be a good workout. If I pop out a 355, not a good workout. I think
You got it.
All right, 321. It's good. Starting to feel it a little bit, so we'll be smart. If we have to do 4, we have to do 4. Like if the fourth one's really bad, we'll call it, because this is like day 1 of week 2, so.
I was just about to say that they're coming for us.
Yeah, let's get this height difference real quick.
Hey, yo, it's not that bad.
Alright.
Sweaty. The height difference is not that bad. You're only almost like a foot taller than me.
W Glaze.
W Glaze.
Did you stop? I thought you stopped it. I was like, what are you doing?
Were you about to kill me?
No, of course not.
Not at all.
Not on camera at least.
Not on camera at least. Crazy work.
Why are they so, like, that's actually kind of.
Wait, what? Hold on. They're circling us. That's not funny, Brayden.
I didn't pay them to do that.
I didn't pay them to do that?
I'm
Nope.
gonna wait a while on this one. That third one was hard.
What?
I'm gonna wait a while longer on this one. That third one was hard.
Mm-hmm.
So my prediction, this fourth one is probably gonna be the worst one of all of them. So
Don't be a negative Nelly.
that's not what it's just like. It's like the third lap. This is kind of like the third lap of the mile.
They're hardcore circling us.
It's on camera.
No, they're going over us now. Yes, they are. I'm scared.
I have a feeling they'd ask if they want to or tell us. Yeah, they're literally coming over us. Alright, you ready?
No. Do not leave me. circling us. Yeah, I don't think you can see them, but they're circling us. How you doing?
3:21. I'll go ahead and do one more.
What was that for? You got it. One more.
This workout's killing me. It's really not that bad. It's just I don't know. I think it's just longer reps. Because in track I was doing, I think at a pace 800 at most, like a interval pace. So 5 1Ks at 530 pace. And let me explain pace real quick. So this is threshold intervals. So I'm aiming to start cross country with like, we'll probably start the season off with a 4 mile race. I'm aiming to be at a 5:15 race pace. That's my goal come cross country season. So for threshold intervals, whatever the interval is, I ran at a threshold pace, which I'm doing 15 seconds slower than goal race pace, so 5:30. And so far, 3 of the 4 have been under. So I will be happy with the workout if this 5th one is under 3:30.
You got it. Let's go. Hooray. Good job. You did it.
Guess what pace or time?
3:20.
What?
3:20.
3:18.
Hey! Batty for real.
I was dying on that last one. The first lap was 5 flat pace. It's like a 1:15. So that's a little bit of my problem that I need to work on. I overcompensate in the beginning, and like I did it in track I would hit times in practice, but a lot of times my first part, like the first, say it's an 800, the first lap will be fast, and so I'd slow down to hit pace. And so I need to calm myself and turn it the other way. If I was to run that 318 but I finished the last lap with the 115, that would have been perfect. So I'm gonna get a 2-mile cool down in. Hopefully the camera can see something, so I'll call it good.
Okay, it's gone.
All right, my watch got it. It's 8:51. Okay, we'll be done after that. You ready?
Mhm.
Turn the light on for the last thing.
Okay.
No fear.